Hello, Reading 100 students. This screencast is going to start familiarizing you with how to access not only your Maricopa Student Gmail, but also how to access your Google Drive. So I am on the homepage of CGCC, and there's lots of different ways to navigate CGCC's internet. You can use the quick links, which can take you to Canvas, or if you click E, it can take you to email. That's one way. Another way to use the friendly quick bar when you need to go to the library, you can click this. Another way to get into some of the resources is actually down at the bottom of the page. You can, whoops. See, I just went to Twitter, and I didn't mean to, so that's how quickly it is. Sorry, you can get your student email this way. So just for purposes, we're down here. I'm going to click this button. And if you signed in already the way I did today, your email will load. If you didn't sign in, or if you're on a computer on campus, you would put in your MEID. As you can see, this is my MEID, and your password, and this comes up. So as you can see, this is my student email. I am a student at CGCC as well as a faculty at CGCC. I tend to take fitness classes. As you can see right here, I took a Zumba fitness class last spring, and when I do so, I enroll as a student. So I'm pretty good at showing you this situation from a student view. Okay, so here's your Maricopa Gmail. So if you haven't been here yet, when I email you, I am going to email you in Maricopa Gmail or through Canvas. And typically what happens, so for example, in my employee email, which this is, Canvas will let me know that I have email from you in my Maricopa Gmail. I don't necessarily know if that's the case for students, but you should be checking your Maricopa Gmail regularly. Why? Well, for lots of reasons, like financial aid and foundation scholarships or any kind of scholarships, but most importantly, because you're in an online/hybrid class with me. And when I have information to share with you, I'm going to email you. So checking your Gmail regularly, your Maricopa Gmail, is very important. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this little square of squares here. So you can see it's a little box, but it's also got little squares made up in that little box. It almost looks like a tic-tac-toe board. That is where you are going to find more Google apps and Google functions that you have free access to through your tuition, through the fact that you are a Maricopa Community College student. So this button right here is something that you're going to use quite a bit. It is your Google Drive, and if you open it, you will see that a new folder opens up, and it is your Google Drive. This is free space. You're going to be able to use, I think, a couple of gigs free. I'm not sure about that. And you're going to be able to store anything you want in this drive. Presentations, documents, information you find through the library databases, you're going to be able to store it all in the Google Drive. And the neat feature about the Google Drive is that you don't need a thumb drive or any external hardware to access it. As long as you have an internet connection and you sign into your Maricopa Gmail, you will be able to access your Google Drive no matter where you are on the planet, as long as you have internet. So for purposes here, what I would like you to do is do what I just did, which is drop down this menu and create a new folder. And I want you to call that folder Reading 100 Fall 2015. because that is this class. You should probably create one of these folders for each one of your classes, and then you should probably duplicate it on whatever thumb drive or whatever hard drive on a laptop or a computer that's your home base, just because it's a great way to keep organized. As you continue in your college journey, you definitely want to keep organized with your digital documents. So once I create this folder, then any work I do, I now can put into this folder. So for example, I'm going to create a new document. So I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to click on Google Docs, and a new window is going to pop up. And now I've got this cool document, and I'm going to call this RDG100 Hybrid Sample Document. And the other neat thing about Google Drive is that the moment you create it, oh, did you see that right there? Oh, it says it right there. Every change you make is automatically saved in Drive. And it even tells you what time the edits were. So Google is one of those great tools, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Presentation, one of those great tools that allows you to work seamlessly. You don't leave work on the desktop because your desktop is in the cloud. This is all cloud-based. The other most important feature about Google is that you're able to share the document. So people at Maricopa Community Colleges with this link to this document are able to see this document. So when you are working with other students in class, for example, if you make a presentation, so here let's open up Google Slides, and here's an untitled presentation. Oh, let's try the simple dark one. Okay. Again, you are able to name it, and then once you start working on it, or even before you start working on it, you are able to share this with other students that you might be co-creating this document with. So for purposes of example, I'm going to share this with the library faculty that is going to be our main contact for library and for research for our course. And her name is Mary Beth Burgoyne. So I'm going to start typing her name, and there she is. She popped up. So now that I add her name, I give her the privileges I want. I want her to be able to edit this. I want her to be able to edit and share this document, and I'm going to send it to her. Alternatively, I can do this with a document. Excuse me, because this is a presentation, this is a document. So I can do the same thing here. I'm going to add it, and I'm going to say that I want to, oh look, and it immediately popped up because Google's smart enough. This is all, the internet and the smart stuff that happens electronically behind what we see. Google's smart enough to say, hey, Mary Ellen just typed Mary Burgoyne's name. I wonder if she wants to share this document as well, which I do, so I'm going to send that to her. Lastly, the neat thing, and these are all things, all features, all skills that you need to learn very quickly for this hybrid course. The other neat thing that you're able to do in Google Docs, in Google Presentation, or in any other Google thing you do, so we won't be using Google Sheets, we won't be using Google Forms or Google Maps, but we can. We're going to start with Documents and Presentation, or Slides. The other cool thing is that if I wanted to leave a comment, I'm able to do so right here. And I can say, hey, Mary, I just began creating our project. Do you have any questions? So since we're in a hybrid environment, and since we might be working between different hours or etc., we can leave comments for each other on the presentation or in the document. I could do the same thing. I can add a comment, or I should be able to. Oh, I probably have to type some text first. Sorry. Yep. Whoops. And now I can add a comment, right? And I can do the same thing. I can say, this is just an example of how commenting works, right? And then now that this document is shared with Mary, whoops, I don't even know where that is. There it is. Now that this document is shared with Mary, you can see who has this sharing privilege right here. When she opens this document, she's going to be able to see these comments. And then if she wants to reply to this comment, she'll be able to reply. So it's one of those features, it's one of those presentations, this whole system of using your Maricopa Gmail, your Google Drive, and the different features in Google Drive. This is just one of the ways how it works. Okay, so now I have this hybrid sample document and I have this hybrid example presentation, and they're just kind of here on my drive. And right now, not a big deal, right? I've got 3 documents, but as I go on, and I can actually show you my work drive, excuse me, here's my work drive. So this is my faculty Gmail, and this is my faculty Gmail drive. Wait till you see all the stuff that I have in my drive, including presentations that students have shared with me, scanned documents, different kinds of things that have gone on. I had no choice but to start creating folders. So as for an example, here's Reading 081, here's CRE 101, here's probably a bigger folder. Here's my Maricopa Summer Institute folder with lots of documents in it. If I just left those all hanging out on my drive, it would be really difficult to navigate. So I want you to get into the practice of having an organization system. What do? You just literally move that into that folder, okay, when you're ready. And now those documents are just in that folder instead of out in the stratosphere, right? And then you know where they're from. So those are some organizational tips. I hope that's helpful. We'll certainly continue to talk about this and teach about this in class, but I wanted to start you off by knowing how to organize your Google email, how to access your Google Drive. Remember, it's from your squares right there. And then how to create both a Google Doc and a Google presentation, because we will be using these tools within the first 3 weeks of class.